Hello, everyone. Welcome to The View. I don't know why the intro isn't working. I don't know what's happening. So,
Hello.
hello. You can tell who's doing tech today, and it's not Reverend Dr. Michael Tino, who is at the Ministerial Fellowship Committee meeting along with Reverend DC Fortune. I'm Aisha Hauser, who clearly is remedial on tech, one half of the lead ministry team of the Church of Larger Fellowship. Welcome to The View. And today, my other co-host, it's just the two of us today, Dante. And I'm in Seattle, Washington, land of the Coast Salish people. Dante, how are you? Where are you?
Hey, everybody. I'm Reverend Dante Hilliard here in the land of the Council of Three Fires, made up of the Ojibwe, the Ottawa, and the Potawatomi peoples, also known as Chicago, Illinois, USA. And it's pretty good. The weather is doing some weird things, but we were kind of super cold. Like, we were really hot one day, and then it was like super cold the next day, and now it's just kind of, it's fine.
The weather here
Oh,
doesn't know what it wants either in Seattle. I'm hoping we're going live. It says live. Does it say live to you? Can
it
someone
does say live. Okay, well, let's check the chat. Come on,
let's
anybody in the chat, let us know you can
chat? I
hear.
don't know. A network change was detected. I don't know what that means. So does that mean we're not live? I don't know. Uh
I see the live. The chat is live, I believe. Come on, I'm checking.
it is, right?
Yeah, people,
Oh.
Darby's in the chat.
Oh.
Uh,
Okay, so I don't
uh,
know why my chat isn't working.
Milani's in the chat. Yeah.
Hi, Milani. Hello, everybody. I don't know what's going on with my chat, so apologies. So hopefully it'll show up. I'm gonna just pray to the restream gods and goddesses and non-binary deities. So what do we want to? So we have a lot to talk about. We haven't talked about the UUA in a while. So April 1, congregations who've matched with Ministers in Search will be announcing their choices. And I think April 1, it's the mutual. In other words, where people like, yeah, we want each other. It's like getting matched on a dating app. Um, and right now, the Ministerial Formation Committee is meeting. That's not right. Is it right? The MFC's meeting.
MFC.
MFC, and they are meeting with candidates. So lots of luck to all the candidates, and the committee has a lot of work to do. And the UUA announced their 14th VP. Sorry, another vice president who I love, Reverend Nancy McDonald-Ladd. I love Nancy. It just felt like, okay, awesome. So you were saying what they were leading?
So I think uh, her portfolio is going to be under development and communications. So to sort of build a sort of synergy between the stories we tell and how to utilize those stories for
Mhm.
development. So like trying to consolidate that sort of together. So how we
Gotcha.
communicate, who we are. So it's kind of, it seems like a consolidation of effort, and that we're telling one story no matter what it is,
Yeah.
development or otherwise. Yeah.
That makes sense. So congratulations to Reverend Nancy McDonald-Ladd. Nancy's one of the more colorful and it's brilliant. She's one of our most brilliant ministers. I really appreciate her a lot. So we got a lot going on in the world, Dante.
Oh, well, also, the brown people just got back from finding our way home down in
That's right.
Asheville, North
That's
Carolina. I couldn't be there this year,
I
but I
could
hope
not
y'all had a
either.
wonderful, wonderful time. I saw lots
Yes.
of pictures.
They had a big crowd. I also was not there. I missed it also. And yeah, it looked great. People were posting that they were super happy to be together. And that is fabulous. So yes, welcome home to the folks who went to Finding Our Way Home. And that's an annual gathering that's been going on for a while. So the UUA supporting religious professionals of color, which is great. And what anything else with UU Roundup?
Um, I don't know.
So we have a lot to talk about with the world. So first, Dante, texts me and Michael a video of Iran, a Lego music video, a Lego rap video made by the Iranian regime trolling the United States. If you haven't seen it, please Google Iranian Lego video.
And
What timeline are we in?
it's called LOSER. Each word has a dot. Each letter, it spells loser. And it is, I think it's an AI generated. It's a bop. It's a music video, by the way. And I want to listen. I really want to download this song because it's a bop. It is. And the video is trolling Trump so hard.
Trolling Trump. It is. What timeline are we in, Dante? That's what I want to understand.
We are in the Alice in Wonderland upside down.
we have countries making videos, making fun of other what is going on? And in the midst of war. This is now a war. This is a war tactic. I don't know what to say. I don't know what's happening. But yeah, it was. So I had friends over last night, and I literally, did you see the Lego video? I pulled it up. For my friends who came over for lentil soup. I pulled up the Lego video because we all had to watch it. So yeah, amazing.
Oh, are you able to see your chat now?
No, but I don't know why, but I'm gonna put it. Let's see how to make this happen. I'm gonna show it on stream.
This is the okay. That's the UN. This is the UN article I was going to bring up.
Okay. Also, thank you, Leilani. UUA is Unitarian Universalist Association, and FOWH, Finding Our Way Home, is the gathering of the
religious professionals of color. I got it. I got you. Peaches and Herb together again.
Peaches and Herb. Oh Lord. So I can't put it in the chat. This makes me sad. Why can't I don't know. And I don't even know how to fix it. I'm afraid to try to fix it because then it will end everything. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't I don't have access to the chat.
As long as we are all as long as you're all seeing us, I will every now and then overlay the chat so we can see. I don't know why I can't see it the way I usually can. I don't understand. I don't understand technology.
Okay, so Iran is trolling Trump with, first of all, they're trolling him with this music video. You have to go find it. Loser, LOSER. It's, first of all, it's amazing. And the song is a bop. It is a hip hop diss track.
It is who, and I want to know who's singing. I can't tell who's
probably
singing.
AI. It's probably AI generated, but it's a hip hop diss track against Trump.
And it's got LOSER, loser, because they know that he's attached to this idea of whatever winning is in his brain. Yeah.
And then they trolled him again and said, "Keep effing with us, and we're going to wipe out. We're going to hack your credit system and wipe out everyone's debt and give all your citizens an 800 credit score."
Listen, here's the thing about that. People on TikTok are like, how can we get them to do this? Iranians, please wipe out my debt. I mean, we're in, yes, Alice in Wonderland. I mean, what a time to be alive, truly. Like, yes, there's horror and chaos. All of that is true. And the Iranian government put out a Lego rap song to troll the president of the United States. That sentence is not a sentence I thought I would ever say. I just want to be clear.
And I want to go to the club and dance to the song. Like, it's a bop. As the young people say, it's a bop. I was like, yeah.
Well, what's interesting about what's fascinating about how Iran is responding to the war started by the United States is they are not backing down to a bully. They were listen, far be it from me to defend the Iranian regime who've been heinous against their people, but anything Iran has done, so has the United States. So let's be clear. The U.S. just has better propaganda, but it's not that the U.S. hasn't done whatever they're going to accuse Iran they've done here and are doing. And they're like, and they were in negotiation when they got attacked. They were giving the US whatever they wanted. They were in nuclear talks. They were saying, yes, 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 whatever. So now when the US says, oh no, they try to make an agreement, they're not going to believe them. Why would they?
Darby was like, how might one procure rights to use the song in future worship? I think the Iranians would be totally okay with you using it in worship.
That is amazing. Oh,
I don't think you're going to get any copyright infringement. I really wanted to use it. Aisha's preaching this weekend, and I wanted to ask her to put it in worship.
That's amazing. That is, I'm not doing that, but I appreciate you all that you think that's something weird.
Oh, Lord, it is so good. It's so good. It's so good. And what I love about what Iran is doing, because it's not Iran, what Iran is doing is what they're demonstrating is weapons are not the only and sometimes not even the most impactful way to get your lick.
That is what they're doing.
Because they were like, oh, we ain't gotta blow up. We ain't gotta have missiles that can reach the United States. Watch these oil fields. Watch this water desalination. Watch the Strait of Hormuz. Come on.
That's the one that's like, why did you think they weren't going to close the Strait of Hormuz? Like, what? Why? In what world? In what world did you think they were somehow going to be benevolent? And I think that is the thing that is important to recognize. Have you seen? I've only seen clips of. I don't know if he's the ambassador, representative, but a dude with short gray hair. That man is cool as a cucumber. Like, he's just, non-ruffled. Talk about a non-anxious presence. And he's being attacked by the superpower of the planet who was unhinged, who was led by the Defense of War, Department of War, dude.
The problem is, and we were talking pre-show, the Trump administration has the audacity of a abuser. Of a intimate partner abuser.
That's exactly
right. Like, I'm going to put hands on you, and then I'm gonna go lay down and go to sleep.
Yeah. And you're gonna do nothing. And you're gonna do nothing. You're not allowed to respond. Right. You're not allowed. It's like what's with the Palestinians since 1948. They've been under siege. There's been a genocide. Anything that's done to them, they're supposed to be. They're supposed to not do anything. And then when they retaliate, they're the ones that are called the terrorists.
Yeah, absolutely. And Iran is like, haha. Okay. Power has many permutations. And you don't need sunshine all the time. The moon is also powerful. It just operates differently.
Look, say that. The moon
moves the tides, honey. Moves water. And everything on this planet is mostly water. Like, so the moon don't need to be the sun to be powerful.
That's a sermon, Dante. That is a sermon.
So yes, I'm just so tickled by. So I'm like, and they're really trolling because then they also release these statements about, oh yeah, we understand the plight of Black people, the Black American. Oh no, we're not trying to hurt the Black Americans. We're clear.
Not you.
We're clear that they are not the issue.
I mean, what is? Listen, it is. Again, I don't under and the reason why my Gen X heart is so confused. We grew up with such a binary. Like, I think we grew up with the propaganda, and it's only been deconstructing just like more mainstream that we're not the good guys. We grew up very much. We're the good guys. Russia's the bad guys. Iran's the bad guys. I mean, look, I'm an Arab, so I was called a terrorist, a sand N-word in school, in college. And so I was othered. We were othered, and put in different buckets of other and bad. And we had to prove ourselves not bad. And now the script has been flipped in a way that it is hard to defend. I mean, nobody in my circle is defending the United States behavior, but they're out there. But it's now like, oh no, this is bad. We're the bad guys. And that's the memes that have been going around. Is like, oh no, we've been wreaking havoc on this planet.
You want to do the overlay? Leilani made an interesting comment.
Yes, absolutely.
It says, I think I attributed more planning and skill to the architects and this administration. And now at this point, now I see it was a lot of greed and incompetence and a lack of thinking stuff through all the way. Absolutely. The audacity of caucasity and power.
Listen. That's the thing. I think that's the most upsetting is how, what did somebody write? Something like, they didn't expect, the dictators and fascists to be so boring. Like we're being taken over by like not very bright, boring, and incompetent people. Yeah, exactly, Leilani. To your point, it's just, I don't understand. And I mean, the best is the memes that are like, I will never have what is it? Imposter syndrome ever again. Watching Pete Hegseth try to answer a question, and like I haven't had imposter syndrome since I worked.
Let me just say for a minute now. I've been screaming from the rooftop anywhere I could go. Imposter syndrome is bullshit.
Bullshit.
The only imposters are Europeans because anybody who survived.
That's right.
The global imperialism of Europeans.
That's right.
What you faking? There's nothing to fake. I'm here.
There's nothing to fake.
If I wasn't smarter than you, I'd be dead. My bloodline would be gone.
Who say that, Dante? Oof. So
I was like this, when I hear people of color talk about, I'll be like, no, stop. What are you performing? What are you pretending?
What are you pretending?
You have survived more.
Yeah.
Then again, we see what's make people fold right now.
Right.
The stuff that's making them fold is the shit that some of us have been living in for 400 years. They're experiencing it for 18 months, and now they're folding.
Well, somebody made the point about Iran being under U.S. sanctions for decades. So they're prepared. They have learned to gather and create what they need without the United States and being cut off from most of the global market. So they're like, yeah, we can ride this out. You're the ones who, but like you said, their creativity in, threatening to wipe out dead. Genius.
I also heard that they trolled them by saying, well, we might let y'all return to the Strait of Hormuz, but you're going to have to pay in yen.
Shut up.
I was like, oh, God. I am here for the petty. I am here for the pathetic FAFO. Because FAFO is a result of prophecy. Listen. I'm here for it. And I was like, not yen. Yen?
Yes. Oh no, that is chef's kiss. Rolling.
It is so beautiful. It's really like y'all gonna get it. Y'all gonna get it. Again, Americans, we need to be really clear, and I'm saying Americans. Mm-hmm. We have been purposely mis and undereducated, right? Since Europeans came and stole the land. That's right. And killed the people.
That's right.
We are some of the least
right
smart people on the planet.
Right.
Because we've been what's that word we talk about when we talk about parents? When you overprotect your kids, like so they don't
helicopter parenting.
Well, not that phrase,
but parenting.
Kind of insulated in a way. Like we've been raised in this bubble.
Oh, yeah. Gentle parenting? I don't know. I don't think everybody's been gentle parented.
But we think what we know is global, and the rest of the world's on some other shit.
Well, that is an intentional disinvestment. Thank you, Daughters of the Confederacy and the Daughters of the mostly that intentionally wanted to rewrite American history to make white people look good, to say that that's where the war between the states came from. And the war of Northern aggression. That's another one I learned that they say in the South. And it's been an intentional disinvestment to keep the populace uninformed and ignorant. The thing about, again, we talk about oppressive systems and abusive systems and abuse. We being impacted by systems that don't want us here, we have to understand our oppressor more than they understand themselves.
Yeah.
And that is what we're watching on a global scale with Iran, who the United States has underestimated, clearly, to say the very least, has underestimated and thought they were going to bully them. But here's the thing. Because we have such ignoramuses running the country right now, they fired everybody who understood what was going to play out. They fired the experts because Doge came in and whatever the hell, right? They had 19-year-olds just, willy-nilly hitting Control Alt Delete. There's been impasses and deals, there's been backroom dealing, but they didn't even understand. So America can look like the bully.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, like you said, it's a global fuck around and find out. They're finding out. They don't even know what to do. They're like, trying to chase their tails. They don't know what to do. It's like,
right. The president's like, well, they weren't supposed to. Weren't supposed to. As my grandmother taught me, baby, there is no such thing as a fair fight. If somebody roll up on you, her advice was find the biggest thing that you can find, bop them, and then run home. She was like, there's no rule. If this is between you and them survival, ain't no rules to that.
They attacked them and bombed a girls' school and then tried to blame them. And her mom was like, oh, hell no. And they are bombing them and starting a war and then like wanting them to somehow, what?
Yeah, like, so now you want decorum? Now you want precedented responses? Mr. Unprecedented? Come on.
I like the meme. I want to live in precedented times, not unprecedented times.
Like, it's so ridiculous. So another really interesting thing happened in the news yesterday, y'all. The United Nations passed a resolution declaring chattel slavery and the transatlantic slave trade as the gravest violation of human rights in human history.
That's right.
Of course, 3 countries voted against it. The United States, Israel, and Argentina. Now, I'm not going to say too much more about that, but y'all know the math. Y'all know the math there. And 53 nations abstained, including the UK and sort of anything pretty much connected to the UK.
Right.
But it's a resolution. It doesn't have a lot of meat per se, but sometimes a symbolic gesture is powerful. That's how I felt about the Obama presidency. Yeah. I didn't expect him to be able to transform 400 years of BS, but there's a whole generation of people who grew up with a black president, and you can never take that out of their imagination.
You can never. That's right. You can never take that.
And so I think it's important that this resolution was passed by the UN. The world is saying, oh no, this was some awful shit. Real.
That's huge. It's huge for the world to say to this country, finally, what you did is the worst atrocity that humanity has seen.
Yeah. And you should pay reparations. And all the other countries who participated in it should pay reparations to those people.
Hello. Hello.
Okay. Now, the U.S. ambassador's response was the United States does not support reparations to African Americans because what they did was not illegal at the time.
Ow! What? I can't with this country.
But you know, that's a UK position too.
Of course it is. You know, it really is such an abusive stance. Well, I was allowed to do this because fill in the blank. Like
Yeah.
I was allowed to be abusive and cause you intentional harm and horror because I was allowed.
Mm-hmm. You know, I was watching I was scrolling and someone said the other day, and again, well, for those of you who don't know, I'm also a Black Studies scholar. Like this is one of my areas of expertise. But someone said, name a non-white country that's colonized the world. They were like, Europeans have colonized over 90%. like it's a high percentage. It may not be 90, but
Right.
of the world.
Yeah.
Like
wow.
no other people.
Yeah. Well, I was
No
thinking
people.
like Attila the Hun, but it still wasn't the whole world. I mean, even when, there was
the Moors had their run in Europe.
Yeah.
The Moors had their run. I mean, I guess of the old world, I guess, depending on how we understand what the world is.
Yeah.
But European colonization is a global reality.
Global. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I think that resolution, but here's the tension. And it was sponsored by Ghana, which is a wonderful thing, a good beginning. That it was sponsored by Ghana.
100%.
But I was talking to my friend group in our group chat last night, and before I could finish telling them about of course, one of my friends was like, and Ghana just passed even more restrictive set of laws around LGBTQ identities and freedoms. And I was like, yeah, I knew. I was like, I knew one of them would say it before I could even finish talking about it. But it's true. Yeah. And this is, as I was telling to Aisha, this is the insidiousness of imperial violence and imperial logics.
Right.
That it seduces those who are colonized to adapt colonial narratives and strategies and think it's their own.
And also think that, right. And I think what's happening now, so I'm involved in, I teach a seminary class. I'm an adjunct professor, which is very funny because people are like, Professor Hauser. I'm like, who are you? Oh, me. It's my first year doing this. But and I'm also, have meetings in different places, and people in general, like, I'm doing great, which is weird. I said, you know what? It's not weird. And here's my theory as to why it's not weird. And I'm in mostly spaces that consist of people targeted by systems of oppression, right? For the first time in my life, we're not being gaslit. We know the world is fucked up. We now, even if white nationalists like, yeah, we are colonizers, fuck you, they're at least admitting, like, I don't feel cosmically gaslit. When I was a kid and I, grew up being othered mostly my whole life, I've kind of inserted myself, and now I just take up space where I want to take up space. But I've never felt like, oh, here's a group I belong to. But it would be like my fault because I wasn't thin enough, white enough, hair wasn't straight enough, whatever it was, that it was my fault that I didn't belong, not the systems. And like, I should conform in this way, right? But now it's like, oh, we're not being we have a fucked up world. We know why it's fucked up. It's not even a mystery. We know what to do to fix it. We are going to have to fight hard. We have to build and expand our imagination and lean into mutual aid and support each other while the empire is crumbling. And there is something deeply freeing about that. There is something deeply freeing about, what is on display, and we're not gaslight. I mean, they're trying. It's not that the oppressors aren't trying to gaslight, but there are more and more people that are like, yeah, no. Mm-mm. And Iran made a TikTok, a Lego video that says lose. You know what I mean? Like, that's my theory, is like, we're not gas. So we're free to actually lean into joy is an act of resistance. We don't have to convince people of reality anymore.
There are very few movements for social transformation that were led from the margins that did not make the point. Whatever's happening to us is going to happen to you. Like, we are all connected. Okay. So, my fellow white Unitarian Universalists, please talk to your cousins and tell them to stop making social media videos about Black people to the front. What are y'all doing? Where y'all at? I'm only going to offer my wisdom so many times, right, and have you deny, obfuscate, ignore, or attack me for it.
Right.
And then when my prophetic words come and sit on your front door, now you're calling me to come save you from it? Baby, I've been trying to save you. And you spit in my face.
I mean, right. And called us liars.
Yeah. So you're going to, laws of physics, every action has an equal, but what? Opposite reaction. So now you got to sit in the consequence of not listening to the people who were trying to help you for a really, really long time.
Loudly and published books. And when this wasn't it was like, hey, hello, here's what's happening. Here's what's going to happen to you. Did you see, I don't know if it's Minnesota or Minneapolis, one of those entities will be suing the DHS because of the murders of Alex Preddy and Renee Good. Now, I had such mixed feelings when I read that, not because I don't want accountability, but ICE has killed quite a few people that are, and the idea that they're going to be sued on behalf of, and it's listen, their murders were awful. I'm not at all in any iota diminishing it.
Asia, can we count the Black folks who've been murdered on live camera over the last 10 years? Like, streamed for us?
Yeah.
like, and again, this is not an oppression Olympics, but I think people need to get really clear.
Right.
You're acting like it hasn't already happened to us.
Whew. Right. None of this is new. None of what ICE is doing has been happening.
They're called slave catchers.
Slave catchers, taking children from their parent, happened to enslaved people, happened to indigenous people. Every single thing that's happening right now has been happening uninterrupted since
for over 400 years. Yeah.
1492, uninterrupted. So there was something like I had a oh my fucking God, like they are going to sue on behalf of two white people who wouldn't have been murdered had there been outrage way back.
Mm-hmm.
And this stopped.
When
Roe v. Wade got overturned, I said, well, had white women been paying attention to what has been happening to Black and brown women nonstop, maybe Roe v. Wade would still be, maybe bodily autonomy would be codified.
If people had paid attention to the quote unquote war on drugs, which was preceded by dumping opiates into Black and brown communities, y'all wouldn't be out here. Oh, now that it's hit Nowheresville, Virginia, and Delaware, and white people out here strung out on fentanyl. Oh, now we have an opioid crisis. Now we have an opioid crisis.
And all that does is reinforce, even by white liberals, the system that dehumanizes Black and brown people. So we didn't count because we're not white. Pain only counts. But that is what has been revealed. That is where I don't think there is gaslighting. Because when I consult, when I'm out there and I talk to folks, what I say to white people, especially white, people who have a way, who are now understanding, connecting the dots. And, I'll have more than one of them say, oh, well, I feel guilty. I said, guilt is disempowering. You can grieve. You can grieve what you didn't know. You can grieve what, the world that we want and the gap between that and the world that exists. You can grieve and then pick a lane and do that to change what's going on, because we have enough people to do that and we will absolutely change it. I have no doubt. But when we sit in guilt, that is disempowering and honestly self-indulgent. It's like, okay, well, you feel guilty, now what?
Yeah, because that just means you're going to sit on your hands because I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Right. And it's like, well, you can believe the people most impacted. You can start by believing the people most impacted by the systems that cause harm. And the thing that I say about, which we know about oppression, you cannot control people. The only thing that is true is violence, is oppression through violence. There is no controlling people. You cannot. Enslaved people, indigenous people, they were brutalized. There was oppression through violence, but they were never controlled. They were never a controlled people. They were an abused people. They were an oppressed people through violence. But there is no such thing as controlling other people.
No. And whatever mechanism you use is actually controlling you.
Oh, say that a million times. Thank you. Say that.
Because you can't put your knee on my neck without being down here with me.
You can't, you've said this, you can't dehumanize others without dehumanizing yourself. You have said that over and over, Dante.
And again, when that video, and yes, it was horrific. People was like, how could, I was like, but what people weren't saying is, how is he so comfortable being down there on that man's neck? Why is he so, like, if that were
having a conversation, sitting on his neck and like, oh, this is what you do.
He was very comfortable there.
Very.
Very comfortable. That's the scary part.
It's gruesome. It is the gruesomeness of the even the domestic police state that has been here forever. It's horrific. And there's a segment of this population in the United States that believe, and in the world, that believes it has to be that way. Why? That is a kind of a rhetorical, full existential question. Why? What is that? What is the idea that we've convinced ourselves as humans that brutalization is the only way? Why?
And I think a parallel to that question is, what are white people so afraid of? Why are y'all so afraid of us?
Yeah.
What are you? Because you keep saying, well, maybe because we'll do to you. We've never done it. We've had the opportunity. Yeah, because a lot of you Europeans, you're really African, because the Moors were all over Europe. Like, they ran Europe for a while. It didn't last that long, but they had a nice run.
Yeah.
They had a nice run all over Europe. This is why your sacred statues are black, the ancient ones, your saints, which I don't want to talk about.
That's right.
Because there were no white people in the Bible. Except for the Romans in New Testament. But yeah, so it's like, but what are you so afraid of? Because all we've said is leave us alone. Just leave me alone.
Just stop. Just stop. And the same, I mean, it's like the same question to, or maybe, okay, I was about to say the same question to straight people, like leave the LGBTQIA community alone. But it's connected, isn't it? It's like whiteness and patriarchy has connected, has created the idea of an ideal, and anything outside of that ideal is to be feared, is to be dominated, right? Like whatever that ideal is, cisgender, straight, white.
But I think race is the prototype, and none of the other variations are nearly as extreme. It's structurally.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Same stuff happens, but it's not as like 400 years of the work. Like a continent got together and was like, we're gonna fuck these people up.
Yeah.
On purpose for our benefit.
Right.
And particularly these people.
Yeah.
And this continent. Is it because you couldn't build nothing bigger than a pyramid until the Eiffel Tower came along?
That's right. And it's not nearly as impressive as the pyramids. I've been to both.
Is it because y'all actually know that my ancestors created physics and math and astronomy? Like Mayat, there's the Egyptian deity Mayat.
Mm-hmm.
Is where the word arithmetic, mathematics comes from. Goddess of justice and balance.
You're teaching me something about my ancestors.
Yeah, Mayat, honey.
I used to tell people that I'm descendant from Cleopatra, and they were like, really? I'm like, no, but that's fun that you believed it for a second. That's racist that you believed. No.
My friend would call it the soft bigotry of low expectations.
It is the racism of low expectations. Not even soft bigotry. It is down to me. I call it the racism of low expectations. Absolutely. Yeah. It is. And it is because of and I don't know, did this originate in the Bible, the Romans? What is it that it's like there's been this delineation of who's worthy, who isn't? And maybe it is capitalism. Maybe it's violent extractive capitalism that has created this wedge within humanity, that the idea of ownership and resource hoarding and owner, I don't know, like
but it's not. See, for me, capitalism is the concrete expression, but I think because money is made up.
Money is made
like value is value is a social construct.
Yes. What we value, why we value it is completely.
This is why Europeans were stealing gold from indigenous people. Like it was just this is some stuff we have and we do stuff with it. Like it wasn't like, oh, we gotta hoard it. Like
right.
And it was like, oh, this is gold, we're gonna steal it, right? Like so value is completely contextual,
right?
So to me, capitalism is the primary system that manifests this stuff. But there is a deeper spiritual issue here, and we need to get really, really clear.
Yeah.
That why would a people expend so much energy to demonize and destroy other people?
Oof. That's literally like that is my existential question, Dante. And truly, it's like I don't have an answer. I'm like, I don't. What is this? Is this like open wounds psychically, and we're the collective unconscious, and we've not given enough? People haven't had an opportunity or even a desire to heal. I don't know. Like, what is this? Is it all sociopaths? That can't be the only explanation, but maybe it is. I don't know.
What you colonize everything. You stole an African religion called Christianity, and then remade it in your image and sold it to the rest of the world as yours.
With Swedish Jesus.
Yeah.
With Jesus being
And
blonde.
then waged war on the rest of the world to make them convert to your perverted version of this Afro-Asiatic religion.
Oh my God, yes. I mean, connecting all the dots. One person said to me, because I'm really a lot of fun at parties. I talk about this stuff all the time. But one person said to me, one theory is that when humanity moved from hunters and gatherers to agriculture, that the idea of ownership took place. Like that would, and I don't know. I mean, I didn't look this up and verify, but it was like, oh, interesting food for thought. Like somewhere in our evolution, when we were more nomadic and had to hunt and gather and moved around more, that there wasn't the idea of necessarily in the same way as when agriculture happened and then people were in the same spot to grow things and domesticate animals or cultivate them or farm, whatever you do to animals. I'm clearly a city mouse, not a country mouse, but that was the shift, that once people started realizing they can own things, that happened from hunter-gatherer to agriculture. And I'm like, that's I mean, that would, I don't know. It's like, okay, but not all.
But so many indigenous communities never believed in ownership of the earth.
Right. That's exactly true. That's true.
Like, they was like, oh, we only take half. We always leave something for whoever comes through here next. Yeah. Like, that was a principle of indigenous cultures of this continent, African cultures. Like, that's like, but people who originated in the Caucasus Mountains in cold caves and things where things might have been scarce.
Yeah.
Where does scarcity come from? People traumatized by scarcity.
And that is also, that's been written about, and I'm forgetting the name of the book. My friend Reverend Deanna's talked about that.
I really did pop my lips like I was outside.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That there is almost a genetic predisposition to leaning into scarcity because there would be scarcity. I mean, winters were long and harsh, where there were long, harsh winters. So some of it, I imagine, I wonder if it's in our genetic code, right? Like we know that trauma can be genetically carried.
And if you think about it, Europeans were doing to each other what they end up doing to the rest of the world. So maybe colonization and imperial global oppression was their way of saving themselves from each other. Because ancient Europe was a horrific place.
A mess. Yeah, they were killing women, being witches. I mean,
they invented so many weapons of death and torture and all of that. And it's like, then at some point it's like, oh, let's stop doing this to each other and just join forces and use this on everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking I went to a museum when I was living in South America, in Cartagena, Colombia, about the Inquisition and the torture devices. I mean, what? Like one of them was, I forgot what it was called, but it had it was an iron thing around your neck and it had a fork that went right here. So you couldn't put your head down. A fork that was cast iron. I'm sorry to be content warning.
Yeah.
I won't describe anymore, but they were horrific. Like you said, like horrific. And they were
Europe was, anytime people are like, oh, it's happening. And I'm like, I don't want to see this. Because it's like gratuitous for no reason. Like, no. So yeah, what they've done to the world, they were doing to each other first.
Wow, that is exactly right. So here in our last 10 minutes, I'm gonna
already.
I know, because this is so interesting. what I've been saying is, and is what I'm preaching about this weekend. It's easier to wear slippers and carpet the world. One of the ways I've been trying to keep from, well, that I have been keeping from despair when I feel despair creeping up on me, right? I lean into what I can do, and what we focus on grows bigger. And I think one of the things I've been, trying to do is lean into community, lean into spending time with people who also want the world to be better and supporting each other, right? And so what else can we do? Like, I feel like what do, consume media that supports the world we want to build. There's a podcast called How to Survive the End of the World, Adrienne Marie Brown and her sister, Autumn Brown. And it's really, it's planting seeds of this is what we can do to nurture ourselves while nurturing the world. So I'm curious about your thoughts about what you do.
I think that our imagination is the only thing that's going to save us. And for religious people, our imagination is expressed in how we worship, in our ritual, our communal rituals, because those are what shape us.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm defending my dissertation, by the way, next week.
Yay!
Not next week, week after. So, but it's like we have to decide that liberation is not a place. It's not like, oh, we're going to get liberated and then we can have this great. No, we have to literally we have to bring the above to the below.
Yes.
That is our job.
That is our job.
The stuff that only lives in the mystery of possibility and in our imagination, we have to embody it over and over and over. Drawing on Adrienne Marie Brown, and trust and have faith in the fractal math of the universe. That what we do at the small scale echoes across.
The health of the cell is the health of the organism.
Yeah.
Each of us is a cell, and the more we can work to heal ourselves and support each other, because we heal in community.
Yeah. Humans can only be human with humans.
Yes, because isolation kills us. We know that. That is a fact. Isolation is death. Belonging is one of the most important needs, because if we don't belong, we die. And it does explain, not in a good way, but the whole, not good or bad, but it is bad. Like the incels and the manosphere. I refuse to watch that documentary, by the way. I'm not wasting my time. But this idea that people are trying to find a place to belong. But that is why I'm so passionate about the CLF being loud and UUs being loud and the religious left, the ministry, what is it? The ministries of TFAM,
that is the Fellowship of Affirming Ministries,
in which you are a Reverend Dante Hilliard. The Fellowship of Affirming Ministries, like the religious left, we need to be loud and say you are loved in the fullness of who you are and how you show up in the world, because there is not enough of that message, because we're told we're unrealistic.
Yeah.
The gruesome, this group's going to hell, whatever the hell that, is realistic. But we need to be loud and proud.
Yeah, we have to rehearse the world we want to be.
Yes, we have to rehearse the world we want to be. Dante, gosh, you're so great. Yes. That's the thing. That is what was it within our reach. What is the world that we
can
want?
do that every day.
Every day.
Every day you wake up is a day to rehearse the world you want to be.
Every day is the day you can rehearse the world you want to be. Yes. And that is what the role of faith communities can be.
I think it should be their primary role. We gather to rehearse the world. And again, depending on your tradition, to invoke or conjure, to pull it in, to pull it out, to pull it down. It depends on what tradition you come, but it's all the same. We are going to call into being or bring into being or embody into being the thing that is not yet.
Yes. Woo. I'm gonna watch this back and write that down because right now I'm in the middle of eating. Yes, and that's the thing, because that's the antidote to despair. And knowing we're not alone, knowing that there is I think, a critical mass of folks who want the world to be so much better, so much kinder, and we are going to be the ones to bring it into being. Because here's the thing, you cannot unring a bell. There is no going back. Nobody's going back in the closet. We're not going to give in to, if only Mike Johnson can let himself be gay or bi, whichever he is. The Speaker of the House is who I'm talking about, who apparently has admitted to having feelings of being gay. Did he go to anyway, my point is, if people let Mike Johnson and Lindsey Graham be gay, maybe they wouldn't be such hateful trolls.
First of all, let's be clear. If everyone on this globe could have the type of intimacy consensual intimacy that they desire, there would be less violence in this world.
Yes.
There would be less pain and suffering in this world.
If people can have their needs met of intimacy and support and love in ways that are supportive and loving, there would be less violence in this world.
And consensual. Like, we want to make sure we say that.
Consensual, 100%. There would be less violence.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So.
Yeah. 100%. I appreciate you. So, for a million reasons. And I'm so happy you're one of the View co-hosts, because when we, get to just dive deep, we are diving deep. And this is, it's truly, I'm so grateful. I'm grateful to be where we are right now in this time. And I appreciate you so much. And next week, I won't be, I don't know if I'm going to be here, but haven't decided yet, because I technically have off, but I may join, because the Omaha cat lady, who is also an internet, she's on TikTok. She's literally lives in Omaha, and she, will be our guest. So last week we had Knitting Cut Lady, and that was really fun and interesting. And next week we will have Omaha Cat Lady. So if anybody has any connection to other people who you want to have on the View, let us know on the CLF
UU.org.
I
got you. Peaches and Herb. I got you.
Peaches and Herb.
Our new website is cute, y'all. So you really should check out CLFUU.org.
Yes, it's a brand new,
user friendly. Yes.
Thank you, Cameron, our tech manager, who, along with the staff, David and Ashley, all revamped our website. It's extraordinary. So with that, I'm not going to do an outro video because I don't know how. So we're going to say a farewell. What is it? So long, farewell, adieu, whatever the hell that Sound of Music song is. Final words, Dante, and good luck on your 2 weeks is your dissertation. Yes. So hopefully I will be able to be there. But thank you, Dante. Thank you all who are joining us, and thank you for your patience with me and my lack of skills. You're all so sweet and generous of spirit.
Thank you all for coming, being with us. See you next time.
See you next time.